You might say a professional photographer.
No, no, no. I'm a, I'm pretty much a quiet human being, you know. But what I love are people's stories. So that's why I'm doing what I'm doing because I love people's stories.
What is your trade per se?
My trade,
Yeah,
I was an occupational therapist. I've been a therapist for over 30 years.
physical therapist.
Occupational therapist.
Spray that again without a mouthful. Come on.
Occupational therapist.
Occupational therapist. Oh, I see. That's good.
In fact, I had a private client I saw for 25 years, and he just passed away February 17th.
Ooh,
And his birthday was Wednesday. He would have been 37.
ooh.
So, you know, yeah. Yeah. Life is good, right? No matter
Well,
how long you live.
you could on the side have a little bakery. Very good.
Well, good. I'm glad you like it. It's pretty easy. You know, you just, it wasn't that hard at all. I try to make, actually, I think homemade cakes are better than boxed cakes.
Yeah.
So, it's the frosting. You make the chocolate frosting first and you put it on the first layer, and then you have a second frosting made with pecans
Ooh.
and sugar and brown sugar.
Mm.
And then you put on the second, tier of chocolate or cake, and then you have the top. But it's good.
Now, your folks, the background and your mother and father, were, were they from Chicago?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Were they professional people in a way? Or?
Mom went to Northwestern to become a journalist,
Oh, was that right?
but she dropped out her last year to marry my dad. He had come back from the Korean War, and she had known him all her life because her best friend was his sister.
Hmm.
So they got married. Dad was a real estate appraiser.
Is that right?
So he could really see how land was changing. I mean, like in Chicago, you know, all the farmland was being bought up.
Yeah.
And now it's just houses and shopping
Sure.
centers. Um, Dad died at 60 from brain cancer.
Oh, horrible.
And Mom died at 74 because she'd had some breathing problems, and then she caught sepsis in the nursing home. So,
Oh, no.
yeah.
Oh,
So I had my older sister, she was adopted because they said they couldn't have kids. And she died in January of 2016. And then I came naturally 16 months after my sister. And then my parents had a boy, and he died 2 months later.
oh,
And,
heavens.
and I think that destroyed my parents, you know.
Oh,
And then they had two other boys.
oh.
But, you know, it's really luck of the draw, the type of family you're born into.
Yeah.
So I like Chicago, but I could never go back there because the winters are so hard.
Yeah.
I mean, the snow days we had here was
You
enough.
went to school there, actually.
Yeah, I went to school there, and then I went to University of Kansas for becoming an occupational therapist.
Come a what?
Occupational therapist.
Oh, there's where they do have a study of that under that title.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. So, but you know, healthcare has changed, and how we do healthcare now is so different than when I started. I mean, it's really a business now. And when I started, it was more or less a calling, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of doctors and nurses and therapists went into it because they cared about people. They wanted to make money too, but they cared
Sure.
about people first.
Yeah.
And I think all of that has changed.
Well, I don't know what to say about, you know, I don't use it definitely for an excuse, but I probably mentioned to you, we were dirt poor people.
Right, you did.
And that was well, it was still during the Great Depression
Right,
that I've said it sure would be a good lesson for so many people today. If they went through that, what I did, they'd get a better understanding on life. Like, see, I quit school. I didn't get very good grades. I did in mathematics. I fell in love with my English teacher. You got that off?
no.
I fell in love with my English teacher, Miss Holmes, and I accused her of flunking me in English 3 just to kind of put her arm around my shoulder and show me the faulty grades I had.
I'm just going to wash these
But I took English 3 the third time.
You did?
Yeah, and she, the first thing she did, she rehearsed me on the answers of the test.
Yes.
And when I took the test, the first thing I seen her do was wet her thumb and go down through the test and pick mine out of there. And she looked at me and shook her head no.
Uh-oh.
So I flunked it again. She was just nice to me. Well, I'd lost my brother at the time.
Right, your older brother or your...
And that, I'm sure, it had an influence on
Whoopsie.
her, kind of taking extra care.
Right.
And certainly the principal of the school and the superintendent of those days of the school, they looked after me. Those that fly desk or the principal,
Right.
the school left me some fly tying equipment and the vise and all that.
That's nice.
And association there. That's after I quit school, but I don't know. I was no brain. For some reason, working in the grocery store, I got to meet so many people, and I believe I was kind to them. That's the way you're brought up in the Depression.
Right.
That maybe that had a good foundation on my beliefs. But if I had to go through life again, I think I'd do just about the same thing as what I've not what I've tried to accomplish. I think I'd do that. Have a nice wife and a family. I don't know what more a person could ask for.
In the end, it's just all about love.
It is. Yeah.
And if you can give love and receive love and share love,
Yep.
that's all you have.
That's about it.
I think so. I'm going to ask you a question, okay?
Uh-oh.
They want to know what your tattoo on your arm.
All right, that's Sailor's Grave. That's a ship going down at sea.
Okay.
All right, my cousin and I were on probably 2nd Avenue in Seattle during the Second World War. We'd had a few drinks. We were underage, but had a few drinks or something, and decided to go get a tattoo. Well, we flipped a coin to see who'd go first. And somehow, I guess first was me. Well, anyway, the tattoo artist he drew blood all the time, with his needle.
Mm-hmm.
When he had a napkin or a towel or something, and he'd sop up the blood, and then he'd do some more.
Right.
Well, my cousin got a little sick watching that, and he said, "The heck with that." So anyway, I'm the guy that ended up with that.
So he didn't get a tattoo.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
So here's another question. What is your favorite meal that Katie used to make?
Favorite what?
Meal that Katie used to make.
Oh gosh, you mean when we first married? Now listen, you can report. My first married, I used to say in front of Kate and her mother, who was Kate, the old-fashioned way that I bet your mama and people did cook the meals. And I said, one thing, Cleo. I said, you can make better second servings than Kate makes first.
Oh, no.
and she'd rib me on that, a couple of times through the 51 years, about what I said. God, she'd cook anything. I don't know.
So she got better as a cook.
No, I can't think of anything that she didn't cook, and I can't name everything she cooked was very good.
Would she make you a special birthday dinner?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Made me a cake.
Okay.
Yeah.
A German chocolate?
Yeah, usually, and I don't know. She's an excellent cook.
So you don't remember one special meal?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. And what was it like when you found out that you were expecting a baby? How did she tell you?
I cannot relate to that.
Okay.
I can't.
Were you happy?
Oh, I hope to tell you. Happy as a clam at high tide.
It's hard to think back then, isn't it?
Well, it's hard to think of what the hell I did here yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. What is your favorite gift you ever gave Katie?
The favorite one?
The favorite gift Katie gave you?
Oh, fish rod. Which I shouldn't have. And there's several things she bought me that years and years later I could not believe why she did that. Now I'll tell you a nice soft story.